We all know Fairly OddParents is a very wholesome show, but with every wholesome show comes an episode that slips through the cracks that isn't as wholesome and a little more scary and dark than usual. Power Mad starts off with Timmy fighting some evil cute bunnies in his new VR game, which upsets him. He tells Cosmo and Wanda he wants a more challenging game and he isn't a baby. So he makes the wish, a video game that's challenging, a game that you can't wish yourself out of, which to be honest might be a death sentence, but we're not there yet. If you're not familiar with this show, Cosmo and Wanda are Timmy's magical fairy godparents, who can grant him pretty much any wish. The reason I said pretty much is because of a book called The Rules that prevents fairies from granting certain wishes. I'm not gonna lie, if any wish should have gone against the rules, it's definitely this one, and you'll understand why soon. We also realize that Vicky, Timmy's evil babysitter, is babysitting him today. Her only wish is that he keeps it down so she can watch TV, which doesn't really sound like a bad thing, but it will be. Anyways, the wish is granted, and because of the game, the whole city and the house have a power surge. This alerts Timmy's friends, who then realize he probably got a new game. So then they just barge right into his house and run upstairs to his room. But Timmy's not there, he's in the bathroom. They waste no time waiting for him and hop right into his new challenging hard grown-up game. When Timmy gets back and sees him in the game, his fairies finally get some common sense and now warn Timmy of the danger of his video game. Pretty much in this new impossible challenging game, you have 3 lives. Lose the 3 lives and you die. Death. Literal death. Let's bring it back to the rulebook. There are a total of 58 rules, and I went through all of them to find out if this was against the rules, and I couldn't find one at all. The only one close enough to relate to this was number 4. Fairies cannot directly kill, maim, or injure living beings. Now this rule says they cannot directly kill, which they aren't. Timmy didn't purposely ask Wanda and Cosmo to kill his best friends. This actually blew my mind because of the fact, if you use the magic in the right way, you could literally be a murderer without even breaking any rules. Anyways though, after Timmy hears his friends might die, he joins a game to warn them, while Cosmo and Wanda try to fix another problem. So remember the power surge? Well, pretty much this game is taking up a bunch of electricity, and if the game shuts off, well, Timmy and his friends will literally die. Now Vicky has no idea of this. I mean, literally plugging in 7 different plugs into one outlet. So Cosmo and Wanda unplug all the plugs and try to distract her by using their magic to make their own television shows. But who knows how long this will last. Timmy has spawned on the first level and loses his first life instantly, leaving him 2 hits away from death. Not to mention his friends are also losing lives and have no idea of the stakes at play. As Timmy progresses, we start to realize that this game is designed around Timmy's life and fears. He gets to a level that looks like his Aunt Gertrude's house. After looking around, his aunt in a crab-like form emerges out from behind the couch and starts to chase him, saying, "Let me pinch those cheeks." Now I'm gonna come back to this because I think there's more meaning to this interaction, but we need some more context first. This is Timmy's first boss level, and on each boss level is a Cosmo or Wanda coin that gives you a free wish. He gets to his Wanda coin and wishes for cheeks of steel, and this allows him to pass on to the next level. Timmy finally finds his friends and can finally warn them. But for some reason in this interaction, it takes a year to just say the simple sentence, "If we die in real life." But instead beats around the bush, and in the process, one of his friends loses another life. This meaning him and his friends only have 2 lives left and they haven't even reached the final boss. Not to mention, Vicky finally realized the TV wasn't plugged in, but Cosmo and Wanda figured out a better way to give the game power, so that problem is solved. But the biggest conflict hasn't even shown up yet. Timmy finally reaches the final level, which looks exactly like his house. He thinks he beat the game and is back home, but his helmet won't come off. Here's where the biggest conflict is introduced. The ground opens up and we see red flames as a robot Vicky emerges from the hole. Now I can't be the only one who realizes it looks like a hole from hell just opened up and a robotic demon Vicky just came out. Here's where I want to take it back to Aunt Gertrude. Aunt Gertrude is never actually shown in the show. This is the only episode where she is mentioned, so we have no idea who and how she is. But we do know how Vicky is. This game seems to be running off of Timmy's fears and how he sees these people in his head. Vicky might look like a regular person to us, but in Timmy's head, Vicky is a scary demon. So now we know these bosses are being formed from Timmy's thoughts. What this leads me to believe is that every time Timmy goes to his Aunt Gertrude's house, she is constantly pinching his cheeks. And I guess because of this, Timmy gained a fear of seeing her. Maybe not the same fear with Vicky, but more of a, I don't want to go to Aunt Gertrude's house, she's always pinching my cheeks. And she has to be pinching really hard for Timmy to imagine her as a crab. Now besides all that, Timmy and his friends all lose their second life, meaning they are on their last life. So not only are they dealing with a scary demonic Vicky, they could also die with any little mess up, which is actually so dark for a kid's show. Also, AJ and Chester still haven't been informed of the stakes of this video game and never get informed, which I think is kind of messed up. Anyways though, Timmy ends up sacrificing his life for AJ and Chester by jumping right into Vicky's weapon and dies. Timmy dies in the game, and you know what that means. Well, not exactly. So because of Timmy's sacrifice to his friends, the game awards him 1 more life. Like the last boss level, there is a Cosmo coin, and upon getting it, they can wish to get rid of Vicky, which they do. After the wish, "I wish I had something to stop Vicky" is made, Timmy's mom and dad walk into the house and Vicky melts. I can't help feeling a little sad about this part as well. Vicky tortures Timmy constantly, and the only people who can stop it are his parents, who don't listen to him and are constantly gone for some reason. This episode is in season 1, and Vicky doesn't get fired until season 6. It's just kinda sad how simple of a fix it is to get rid of Timmy's robotic mental abusive demon. I mean, I was expecting a huge creature to come out and fight this huge robot, but no, just his simple plain old parents. This is exactly why Timmy was gifted his fairies as well, because of how hard, depressing, and impossible his life would be if he was fairyless. His fairies are practically his parents. But anyways, Timmy and his friends leave the game safe and sound after battling death, and everything's back to normal until Timmy throws Vicky into the game, which is actually crazy because like she could also die, but I think she survived because she's in later seasons. But yeah, this episode's pretty scary, I think. I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking.